From that notorious video where he essentially ridiculed an actual deceased person in a forest, to the countless business ventures that seem kind of shady at best, Logan Paul's been at the center of controversy after controversy.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize.
But is everything the guy touches just another scam? His latest enterprise with KSI seems like it could be different, namely Prime Beverages.
Product, Prime Energy. Prime Energy has 10 calories.
Logan and KSI have been promoting this collaborative venture pretty heavily, and it's hard to imagine how it might end up hurting people. But the thing is, Prime Beverages hasn't been immune to Logan's reputation. A tiger never changes its stripes, after all. That said, it would be kind of unfair to paint everything with the same brush, because if you just look at it from a consumer point of view, Prime Beverages has seemed downright unstoppable. People have been going crazy over the stuff, which isn't surprising if you think about it, because Logan and KSI are two of the biggest YouTubers out there, and they've branched out into plenty of other areas without too much trouble, even if they're relying on nothing but their fans to drive sales. It's hard to deny just how immensely successful this venture has been so far. Both of these iconic content creators have surprised people by their boxing skills in the ring. They've become bona fide sports legends on top of everything else. Starting their very own sports drink company was the logical next step. It would cater to all of the new fans who were enthralled by their undeniably decent bouts, as well as attract their old school fans who'll lap up pretty much anything they put their names on. But something just doesn't feel right about this. For starters, the drinks themselves aren't exactly good for you. Nutritionists are criticizing the drinks for being unhealthy. That's not the sort of thing you want to hear about beverages meant for athletes. According to KSI and Logan, the drinks are supposed to be refreshing, energizing, and above all else, healthy.
Gatorade has 36 grams of sugar in it as opposed to Prime's 2 grams. That is a lot of sugar compared to not a lot of sugar. Gatorade.
But that's not something that the experts seem to agree with. To be fair, Prime Beverages products do have a lot going for them. For one thing, they don't have any sugar, unlike most other sports drinks. What's more, they don't have any caffeine either. So they're clearly not trying to give you an artificial energy boost here, but that's pretty much the bare minimum. Nutritionists have gone on the record to say that these drinks have no place in a healthy, balanced diet. Sure, it has some electrolytes and vitamins, but you can easily get those from natural sources. And as for the rest of the ingredients, it's all stuff like artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and colorings, none of which is all that healthy to consume. Prime Beverages is clearly profiting off false advertising, and based on the recent Prime Ambassador announcements, that might be only the tip of the iceberg. Logan and KSI just announced the Prime Ambassador program. First up, we should probably look into what this program actually is. To put it plainly, if you want to get some free merch and goodies, you can sign up for the ambassadorship program by providing a few details. You're going to have to follow the company on all of its socials first, and even after you get through all the steps, there's no guarantee that you'll even get in. This program is super exclusive, but that hasn't stopped legions of fans from giving it a try. On the surface, this just looks like another marketing gimmick, just a way to generate leads and drive up sales so they can show better numbers for the quarter. Then again, there's a lot to worry about when it comes to Prime Beverages. This whole thing is giving me mad pyramid scheme vibes. Just think about it for a second. A pyramid scheme is basically an investment strategy that promises crazy returns, but the catch is that you need to get a ton of other people signed up before you can profit. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see how unsustainable that can be. Everyone involved in this scheme is relying on adding people to a lower tier, pocketing their money while promising bigger returns down the line. At some point, the money trail's got to end, and that's when things come crashing down. Any of this ring a bell? The first sign of a pyramid scheme is that it appears to offer you something for nothing, and that's exactly what this Prime Ambassadors program appears to be doing. No one would ever pass up a free lunch, but anyone that promises you one is probably just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. If this were anyone else, I'd give them some leeway, but this is Logan Paul we're talking about. The guy has a bit of a history with Ponzi schemes. Case in point, CryptoZoo. Investors were offered unimaginable returns, and all for some cool digital merch that they'd have been able to use in the CryptoZoo game whenever it launched. Paul managed to make a killing selling essentially worthless digital tokens to unsuspecting people, only to pull the rug out from under their feet at the last minute. The project has now been abandoned, and there's no word from Paul on whether investors will get any kind of reimbursement. You think that's bad? I haven't even got started yet. CryptoZoo wasn't even the first time that Paul tried something like this. Back in 2021, he tried to push a crypto token known as Doink Doink. Funny, right? Guy's a real comedian, and it gets even funnier, if by funny you mean twisted. He promoted the coin constantly to his followers, which artificially pushed the price up. And when he finally felt like he'd gotten what he wanted, he sold his entire portfolio, sending the price crashing in the open market. So I think you'd agree that some suspicion is warranted here. But hold up, this isn't just Paul. KSI's an angel. There's no way he'd be involved in anything like this, right? Well, I hate to break it to you, but that might just be the whole point of his involvement. Logan knows he's unpopular, so he might be using KSI to seem more trustworthy. Now, KSI's no stranger to controversy, but the stuff he's been accused of is nowhere near as bad as Paul's track record. Seems kind of convenient that Logan partnered up with a friendlier face. A little too convenient if you ask me. The new ambassador program is just the cherry on top, and it makes it entirely believable that this is yet another pyramid scheme that Logan's trying to pull. Of course, there's no way to confirm this, at least not yet. Logan's a smart guy, and we usually don't know what sort of things he's up to until it's too late. I'm not saying he's some kind of supervillain, but you have to admit the guy has terrible judgment, and his past makes it really hard to trust anything he does, especially with all the mystery surrounding everything. I'd feel better if there was a bit more transparency here. What exactly is the ambassador program? Do people just sign up, get free stuff, and move on with their lives? As if. This just seems too good to be true, which is another major hallmark of pyramid schemes. What are these ambassadors going to end up doing in the future? Are they going to have to sell these products at some point? What other reason could there be to just hand out such expensive products free of charge? There are no clear answers here, and that's the whole problem. We need to be asking these questions, especially when it comes to Logan Paul. The truth about Prime ambassadors is going to have to come out sooner or later, and when it does, I just hope that it doesn't cause as much damage as Logan's past actions. That's all you need to know about KSI and Logan Paul's new Prime Ambassadors program.